The Rock and Roll Coffee Show is brought to you by Retroactive. Retroactive, located at Broadway at the Beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is the best of pop culture from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Visit Shop Retroactive for more. Welcome to another episode of the Rock and Roll Coffee Show. I am Joe Spilia, and thanks for tuning in. Please do me a favor, head on over to the Rock and Roll Coffee Show YouTube channel, where you can see all of these conversations in video format. And please make sure you subscribe. That'll really help the show out. I'm going to be giving away a Joan Jett Funko Pop right here to one lucky subscriber. All you have to do is make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Send me an email with contest as the subject line. Send it to rnrcoffeeshow@gmail.com and you will be entered to win Joan Jett. Now, my guest this week is Chad Stewart. Chad is the drummer of the band Faster Pussycat, and he's been in the band for about 20 years or so. Faster Pussycat is currently out on the Sonic Slam tour with LA Guns and Tom Keifer. I got to catch up with Chad to discuss the tour. We talk about new Faster Pussycat record that will be out real soon on Golden Robot Records, the Faster Pussycat writing process, and so much more. Faster Pussycat will be at Retroactive on July 26th from 3 to 5 p.m. So if you are in the Myrtle Beach area, please make sure to stop by Retroactive and meet the band. They will also be performing that same night in Surfside Beach at the Brick House Lounge. Hope you enjoy this conversation with Chad. Thanks for watching.
It's the Rock and Roll Coffee Show. Yeah, with Joe.
Chad, you know what? Let's start with what you're doing right now. You guys are currently out on the road on your Sonic Slam tour, correct?
We are, yes.
Where are you right now? Wisconsin?
We are in, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, okay. And tonight you have an off night.
We have an off night show tomorrow here in Milwaukee.
How is the tour going?
Been great. Crowds have been great. Band's been on fire. Keifer and LA Guns are both kicking ass. So it's been a fun summer so far.
Nice. Everyone's getting along?
Everyone's getting along, surprisingly enough.
Well, that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
So now this tour, was this wasn't scheduled during COVID, right? It wasn't postponed or anything. Or was it?
No. There were ideas of it. There were rumblings about it, but no, it was not booked before COVID.
Okay. All right. Did you guys have to cancel anything because of COVID?
Oh yeah, we canceled a whole bunch of stuff. We had a run of the States. We had Europe. Yeah, we canceled quite a bit.
Oh man. So that's got to feel pretty good to be back out on the road now.
It does indeed, yes.
How long has it been?
We've been out since the end of May.
Okay.
So what is it? It's almost 2 months now, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and we go to the end of August.
Okay. So you got about another month out there.
Well, about 3 weeks-ish.
Mm-hmm. And then what are your plans after that? Are there any?
No immediate plans. Sam's going out with Dorothy for a few weeks. They're going out with Shinedown, I believe.
Okay.
And Ronnie is going to South America with Richie Ramone. And I think Tammy and Danny and I are going to finish this record that we've been threatening for about 7 years.
I was going to bring this up. So we'll just get right into that right now. What is going on with the new record?
We just signed with Golden Robot.
Nice. Okay.
The next single and its B-side are done. Mixed by Jacob Bunton from, I guess now the Mick Mars solo band.
Right.
I think that's pretty well known at this point. So yeah, Jacob mixed it, and we're really excited about it. And there's about 6 or 7 more songs that need to be finished, touched up. Most of Sam's parts are done.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my parts are done, except for vocals. Tammy's got to fix some things, some bits and bobs. I think Danny's got a few things he needs to touch up too. But yeah, there's a lot of it done.
Nice. Now,
so while the guys are gone, we're probably going to finish up.
Okay.
what we
So
started already.
when are you going to release another single? Anytime soon?
I don't have that information right yet. I know
Mhm.
that Golden Robot is working on what they want to do as far as the release of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you the title.
What is it?
It's called Ghost.
Ghost. Okay.
Yep. Or Like a Ghost, depending on how they want to market it. But yeah, it's I'm really, really proud of it. Really proud of it.
Nice. Now, is this going to be released on CD or digital or vinyl? All the above?
I think we're planning on doing all the above.
Mm-hmm. Vinyl seems to be a hot thing right now.
Yeah. Well, the initial plan was to do a bunch of vinyl singles.
Mm.
So the initial plan was to do original cover song as the B-side. And then by the time it was done, then there would be a whole record and then basically a cover record as well. So
okay. So how many are there going to be more covers on this record?
There's going to be the B-side of this new single is a cover, yes.
Can you say which one?
I can't. It's For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield.
Okay.
Which seems kind of poignant these days, except we kind of took it, turned it on its ear a little bit.
Sure. Well, I thought Pirate Love sounded great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, we were happy with the way that turned out as well. Yeah, this one's a little heavier, a lot heavier actually, but it's kind of more down the glory hole realm of taking things. But the single is not. Ghost is completely the opposite way.
Is
it? Yeah.
Okay.
Ghost is reminds me of more of a Nonstop to Nowhere kind of vibe.
I see. Okay. Now, is this the third record you've played on then? Because you played on two others, I believe, right?
I did not play on the remix record. I did play on Glory Hole. I did play on the live album. And now, then all the subsequent stuff that came after that. The song we did for Eagles of Death Metal after the Bataclan thing, we did the tribute record we did where all the bands, did a cover of I Love You All the Time. I played on that single. It was Faster and Elton John and God, so many people that played on that. I think there's like 14 or 15 artists on that.
Okay.
So yeah, any of the stuff that's come out since I guess 2004 I've played on. Yeah.
Okay. Because you joined 2001?
Yeah. Well, I was in Newly Deads from 98 to 2000. And then we started rehearsals for Faster in 2000. So,
okay.
Close to 22 years now.
When did you start playing?
Oh, I was a kid. I started playing, I think I was 10 or 11, but I started playing out in bar bands when I was 14.
Right.
So I've been playing in clubs since I was a kid, kind of like Sam, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say Sam did the same thing.
Yeah, very similar.
And then, so you're not originally from LA?
No, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, or right outside of Columbus, Ohio.
And did you move to LA for that dream of becoming,
I did not. I actually, I went to college and got my degree at the University of Cincinnati in broadcasting. Well, that was the only, when I was in school, that was the only thing that was anything close to like music production or editing or anything like that. That's what they called it.
Okay.
And then I moved to Nashville and started working for Gaylord Entertainment, which did Opryland and CMT and all that stuff. I got a job right out of college and went down there and started working down there and started auditioning in bands. And as it turned out, my band got signed to Warner Brothers in Nashville.
What band was this?
A band called Spill Red, which you have never heard of and you will never hear of again. But back in those days, you couldn't have rock bands in Nashville. Now, I mean, that they're all there. Back then it was all, Travis Tritt and Randy Travis and all the Travis.
So what happened with that band?
They moved us to New York to do the record and we finished it. And the guitar player quit and we had some vocal overdubs to do. And they said, I'll tell you what, we're going to send you out on the road with STP but we want you to go out to California and finish the overdubs. And it was June, beginning at end of April or end of May, beginning of June. And the thought of going to California for a few weeks and, you know, doing the overdubs and then go out with Stone Temple Pilots sounded awesome.
Yeah. Sounds great.
And within 14 days, the band broke up.
Oh no.
Got in a huge fight with the record label. The singer said, fuck it, I'm going solo. And there was a whole bunch of bitches. The whole thing fell apart.
That son of a bitch.
So the rest of the band went back to New York, and I said, fuck it, I'm here. I'm going to stay and see what happens. And I just started playing in bands, you know, joining whatever. And I hooked up with Coyote Shivers, who had just moved in from New York as well. So I had known him from there and started playing with him. And then I ran into Eric Singer, oddly enough, at the Rainbow one night. And he was like, hey, we're starting this jam up. It's me and Gilby and Teddy Zigzag and Tracy Guns. And we're every Tuesday, we're going to start this thing. Now that you're here, you should come out and play. And I'd met Eric on the Revenge tour when I was still in college. He's like, hey, if you're ever out in LA, look me up. I just happened to run into it.
And he remembered you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I showed up that next Tuesday night, and third set, he came off the drums and handed me the sticks and said, all right, your turn. Get up there.
Fantastic.
And so I went up and played, and then he had I played with Gilby and the guys, and I did that for a couple of weeks. And then he was playing with Brian May and Brian May's solo band, and they had some dates, and he was also playing with Gilby. And Gilby's like, well, Eric can't do it, so why don't you come in and fill in? And then I ended up playing for Gilby for God knows how many years, 12.
Oh,
Long
geez.
time.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that. Wow. So
Yeah.
just like that, you're like
And
rolling.
just kind of just jumped into it. Well, I don't know if it was just like that, but
Wow.
yeah, after about a year, yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. That's a good time. So you played with Gilby for about 12 years, and then somehow you ended up in Newly Deads, right?
Well,
or Tammy saw you or something?
I'll tell you what happened. You know, well, it was Coyote and Gilby and all of it. Like Tammy started the Pretty Ugly Club up with Ricky Vodka, who I'm also in another band with, who's also with Danny and I in Moto Christ.
Yeah.
And so Ricky and Tammy started Pretty Ugly Club at the Dragonfly, and that kind of became like Cat House Part 2. It was like all the bands, all the rock that was gone from the 80s that disappeared in the 90s, that kind of then like midway through the 90s started forcing its way back out and resurfacing as something fresh and new.
Right.
You know, Tammy doing the Newly Deads, and there was a band called Czar that was really big at the time, and Coyote was doing like his like glam pop punk thing, and there was a bunch of like pseudo industrial. Elijah Blue, his band, Sharon and Greg Allman's kid, he had an industrial band that was playing, and so all these bands started coming up, and that was every Wednesday night. That was the place to go play.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of started playing there with Coyote, and then Gilby started playing there, and Tammy saw me more and more, and then he was just like, "Hey, I got to replace this guy. I wanted to know if you'd be interested in doing it," and I said, "Absolutely." And now here we are.
And were you a fan of Faster Pussycat? Like, did you know who Tammy was?
I was. I actually, I'm the only one that actually I think saw Tammy when he was in Pigface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when he moved to Chicago and joined that, I would think I was still in Ohio, or I was back and forth. But yeah, I saw Tammy do the Pigface thing. So yeah, I was a fan before.
So when he approached you, then the answer was, I'm sure, a yes right away.
Yes, it was definitely a yes. Plus, I was already playing with Danny in Moto Christ, so it was kind of like the natural fit.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing with Danny for probably a little over a year, or maybe even a little more.
And was Danny already in Newly Deads?
Yes, he was.
Okay, so you already knew him.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You guys have been playing band after band together.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. For better or for worse, he and I.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fun though. That makes it fun. Okay, so then in Newly Deads, you guys were playing for a while. I'm trying to get everything straight here, so if I'm wrong, just correct me.
No, it's fine.
And that's when Tammy decided to put Faster Pussycat together a little after that.
Yeah,
right?
they'd been approached about doing a remix record, and Greg was kind of into that whole thing too. And so he and Tammy decided that they were going to do this. And then Brent kind of put his 2 cents in as well. And then the three of them, you know, started working on this project. And then they were like, well, maybe we should go tour it. And that's when
the remix
know,
record.
Yeah, the remix record. So we kind of that first tour that in 2001 was kind of a mixture between the original versions and the remixes, which I can tell you did not go over quite as well with the classic fans as one might expect.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, I didn't care for that one too much.
No, I got it. I get it. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah, no, but and then so Faster Pussycat was 3 of the guys from original Faster Pussycat, right?
Yep.
And you and Danny.
Yep. And Christian Simon was also on that tour as an auxiliary guitar player. Because we did a couple of Nearly Dead songs on that tour, and he was there to kind of cover the weirdo parts for the remix record that the other 2 that would have taken a third guitar player to do. Sure. Instead of running extra track and doing all that crap.
Sure. Okay. There's so many moving parts with you guys, and between you guys and LA Guns and you and Danny playing together, you know, there's so much connecting and all that. So you did play in LA Guns for a little bit. Now that was before Faster Pussycat or after?
No, that was during, I would call it. And during. Danny as well.
You're right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I was in LA Guns for about 7 years.
Okay.
In Tracy's version. I think it was 3 or 4 lead singers and 7 years.
Well, Jizzy was in there for a little bit.
Jizzy was in, Paul Black was in, Marty Casey was in. And was there a 4th one? There might have been a 4th one. No, I was out before it got really crazy. So yeah, it was Paul Black was the original singer from LA Guns before Phil. And then Paul was out. We went to Canada. We got a record deal on a Canadian label. We went to Canada to make a record with Paul, and it wasn't working. And Marty Casey had just left the Love Hammers to do a solo record, and he was just hot off the heels of that In Excess show. I was gonna say
I remember that name.
Yeah. Okay. And we kind of hooked up and started. He was a friend of the kid that was playing bass for LA Guns, Jeremy Carson. He was a friend of his, and he came to Canada and just to help write songs and trying to get the thing back together again because it was not working with Paul. And we kind of all hit it off. And we, Steve Thompson, who worked on the Appetite for Destruction record, was the producer, and we did a record, and it turned out great. You'll probably never hear that either.
There's probably a few recordings out there we'll never hear, right?
Yeah, there's a live record with Marty. There's a live record with Jizzy. There's a studio record with Jizzy. There's a live record with Paul. There's a bunch of LA Gun stuff that's been shelved in the 7 years that I was there.
You put out a record with Jizzy though, right?
We did the Shrinking Violet. We did a reissue of it. Yeah.
Okay.
With a bonus. I think there was a bonus song on it.
Okay.
As I recall. Okay. And then I did the acoustic record.
Okay.
The acoustic Gypsy record with Jizzy and Teddy and Muddy Stardust, who was bass player in LA Guns for a while. He was on the Man in the Moon record. Okay. A whole bunch of us that did that recording live at the Hotel Cafe. And that is a real live. There's no tricks or fixes on that record. That's
no overdubs.
That one's for real. No, not at all. We did 2 nights at the Hotel Cafe, and it is what it is.
Okay. So you said you were doing all this at the same time as Faster Pussycat.
Yeah. Pussycat was kind of, they weren't really working.
Okay.
Amy was in a bad state. He, our tour manager got killed in a car wreck, and he lost a girlfriend. She overdosed, and it was a bad time. It was a bad time. So Tammy was kind of in the throes of his own stuff. So Faster wasn't really working much then. But since then, everything's kind of turned itself around.
Yeah. And Tammy's been sober for a while now, right?
5 years now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great for him. Good to hear that. When did Sam come in the band?
Sam's
that was later, right?
3, yeah. Sam's only been in about 3 years now.
Okay. And how did you
And
guys
Ronnie,
find Sam?
that's an Ace. That's an Ace
Through
Von
Ace.
Johnson thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Ace was doing a lot of the jam nights around town just to get out and play when we
Mhm.
were off the road. And Sam was this kid that had just graduated at MI and started playing out. And he became friends with Sam. And then when he decided that he wanted to go to LA Guns, he offered us Sam. And I got to be honest, I didn't think it was going to work, but it's turned out to be the best decision best thing it ever dropped in our lap. Let's put it that way.
What made you feel that it wasn't going to work? Was it just that initial jam or what?
Well, no, we didn't even, honestly, I mean, the decision was made before we even played with it. Because we had a tour booked, and Ace pulled out and said, I've got the solution, here it is. And Tammy went, well, go audition the kid and let's see what happens. And the minute we played the first song, we knew it was a brand new ball game.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an incredible guitar player.
He most certainly is. He's special.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great guitar players. There are very few special ones. He's special.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know how he juggles all his bands.
It's getting more difficult. I can tell you that much.
Is it? Is it getting on them? Getting harder?
Yeah. But he's young. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. How come Ace went to LA Guns? Why did he want to leave?
That's a question you'd have to ask Ace, really.
Okay.
I could speculate, but I just think there was a lot on his shoulders. And I think, having to be the flagship, having to steer the ship and having to be a first mate are two different things. Whereas Sam definitely took the role of, this is where it needs to go. So if that helps explain it, I don't know if it does or doesn't.
Sure. I mean, that's good. That's good. And then now you have another new guitar player in Ronnie, who's only been in a few months, right?
Yeah. He first gig was New Year's Day. But we've known Ronnie for years. He was in a band called The Art from Australia that toured all over the world. We did a full US run and then a partial US run and then a full European run with The Art. So we've known him, like I said, for years. And it was kind of made the most sense.
When you're not doing Faster Pussycat, you're a bartender or something, right?
Well, I was working at a restaurant in LA that my best friend owned. And we were doing all kinds of stuff. We were doing events and I was helping with the menu development. Yes, I was bartending and helping with the cocktail designs and doing all that. But after COVID really wrecked LA as far as the restaurant industry goes. So I opted out. Okay. So now I'm just, we're doing this, we're full time now. So I'm not really having to rely on that much, but I still have the Bloody Mary company. I still have Devil's Crown, which is kind of my side hustle.
Right. Now, and you have the rub. I got some of that here.
Oh, I do have the dry rub, which is delicious.
Which I want to try some wings with this. Can I make wings with this?
You can make anything with it.
Yeah. What do you recommend?
Wings are great. Pork butt's great. Brisket's great. I even made salad dressing out of it.
Salad dressing, really? How do I do that?
Olive oil, some sort of acid, and the rub. Yeah.
That's it.
So lemon juice or vinegar or whatever. Yeah. Dijon. Mustard works great. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. I haven't had the Bloody Mary mix, but
it's spicy.
That's what I hear. I heard it was. I heard it's spicy.
And then I got into wines a while ago. And there's a company out in Phoenix or Scottsdale called Desert Rock Winery. And they do a lot of really innovative things in the wine industry right now, as far as like growing grapes in the high plains of Arizona, which you don't really normally hear about. But the winemaker and I kind of hit it off, and we're doing we've got the Body Thief Faster Pussycat wine out, which is a red blend, and we're getting ready to release the Little Dove rosé that'll be out probably. I would like to say it would be out by fall, but it probably won't be until next year.
Okay. And where is that available? Where can people get the wines?
It's available online. If they go to desertrockwineries.com, it's all there. Since we can't really sell spirits or any of that at the shows,
Sure.
we have a board that's got a QR code on it. You can tap on the QR code and it takes it straight to the site. You can order it from there.
I see. Let me get back to the tour a little bit. I want to talk to you about you guys, because you guys are traveling by bus, right?
We are, yes.
And a lot of bands these days will do the fly-in things. But I
That's
know
correct.
you guys are trying to pick up dates along the way, right?
We are picking up. We have played many dates along the way on this.
So that's been working out.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, we're on our own tomorrow night here in Milwaukee. And then pick back up with the tour on Thursday in Detroit.
Okay. And then in a couple weeks, you're going to be here where I am in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
And you're going to be doing the in-store.
We are doing an in-store.
When's the last time you did an in-store?
It's been a while. And it was probably at Retroactive. Actually, that's actually not true. When we put out the Jizzy record, we did a tour of Best Buys as in-stores.
Best Buys. Okay.
Yeah. So I did that. That's the last one I've done. But yeah, we haven't done an in-store in a long time.
Yeah. Well, it should be fun.
It'll be great.
Yeah,
it'll be great.
July 26th, 3 to 5 p.m. at Retroactive in Myrtle Beach.
Yep, 3 to 5. Yep.
Yeah. And then you have a show that night.
We do at the Brickyard Lounge in Surf City. Does that sound right?
Pretty close. Brick House in Surfside.
Brick House. Okay.
Surfside, Myrtle Beach, pretty much the same thing, just right down the road.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So that'll be awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So back to the buses. So traveling on a bus, do you like traveling on the bus rather than the fly-ins?
I do. We all do.
Do you?
You've got all your stuff. You're playing your own gear. You've got all your clothes.
Right.
You know what I mean? all your own personal things are all in one place. Bus tours are grueling. And there's certain issues that come on, problems that come along with it. But, especially with gas prices being so high
as they are, crazy.
And the crazy heat that makes these engines overheat and break down and all kinds of crazy stuff. But, flights right now aren't much better.
Yeah.
So, I've talked to the Skid Row guys and Jizzy and Alex in Quiet Riot. I mean, they're getting delays and missing shows. And, they're having the same kind of issues that we are.
And
I think format.
I think flying, for me anyway, I think flying is a little more tiring.
100%.
Yeah, going through the airports and all that.
We wake up where we are.
Right, and you don't got to get up early to get to the airport, or
we drive at night. So when the show's over and we're packed up, we roll. So we wake up in the next morning where we need to be. So we've got most of the day.
Yeah.
To kind of get your head together.
Yeah.
Plus, we've got all our merch. That's the other thing too. You can't fly out. I mean, unless you want to pay just exuberant prices to ship stuff all across the country,
and that's out of control.
Yeah, I mean, you can't bring loads of merch out, and that's let's face it, that's how we make our bread and butter, really, at this point.
Sure.
So yeah, it's so there's challenges both ways.
And nowadays, do you guys have a big crew that goes out with you?
Right now, no, we're skeleton right now.
Are you?
Just because we had to keep everything as streamlined as possible for this because there's just so many people. Tom's got so many people on this tour.
Wow.
That we had to keep ours as light and compact as possible. So we have a driver, a merch person, and one stage guy, and that's it.
I mean, that's all you need, really.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
unless you get tired of lugging the gear and stuff.
That's what you can get away with. Yes.
Yeah. Now, are you guys opening these dates, or are you switching with LA Guns back and forth?
No, we're opening.
Okay. You like that?
I like being done early.
Yeah, right. Because you're older now, right?
Yep. I like being in bed by 11 o'clock. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So, no, it's fun. I mean, we get to go hang out, see the show every night, meet the people. We are definitely a band of the people. So that definitely works to our advantage as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
So,
one thing about Faster Pussycat I always like, because I've been a fan for a while, but Faster Pussycat appears to always be like just a raw rock band. Like there's no
Pretense.
yeah,
Pretty much is what it is.
it is what it is, right? I mean, you guys aren't up there using backing tracks that I know of.
Nope.
You're not
Nope,
using
not at all.
big thing now, the teleprompter.
Yep, we're not doing
Yeah.
any of that.
But I mean, and I don't have anything
It's
against
warts
any of
and
that,
all is
but-
what we call it. You know what I mean?
but that's what I think really makes you guys stand out, because you
Well-
appear to be a real band.
Yeah, I mean, I think this whole tour is real bands. I mean, I think
Mhm.
that's
You're right.
why it's been as successful as it is,
Right.
is because it is 3 bands that just go up there and kick into it every night. You know what I mean?
I mean, Tracy even plays from the bathroom.
Yeah, but he's there.
That was awesome. I thought, hey,
That
gotta
was
do
a
what you gotta
strange
do.
day. I will say this: it was 110 that day, so it
Oh.
was unbelievably hot.
That was an outside gig.
Yeah, a lot of these have been outside gigs.
Oh, in the middle of summer.
Yeah, I mean the first show was canceled in Buffalo immediately because of lightning.
Oh,
So I mean we've been waiting and waiting and waiting to get the tour kicked off, and we get there and then it's wah wah.
didn't you have something go wrong with your bus at the beginning as well? I saw on social media guys were like fixing something, or
We always have something. There's always something wrong
is
with
there?
buses. Yeah, it's like owning a boat.
Ugh.
You know, it's a constant upkeep on those things.
You haven't got stranded, have you?
No, we haven't missed a show yet. We rarely do.
Okay.
Rarely do.
Good. The recording process with Faster Pussycat now and writing process, is that a band thing, or is Tammy like
Well,
take the lead on that?
that's also a very pussycat-esque thing. No, this is how it works normally. Tammy will come up with an idea and he will demo it at the house because he's got a studio at the house. Then Sam will come over and they will work on it together. And then they will bring it in. Sam will bring it into rehearsals, and then Sam, Danny, and I will work on it. Ronnie hasn't been a part of that process yet because most of the stuff was finished before Ronnie was in. And then we'll build the tracks at Tammy's house, pretty much background vocals, everything done. And then we do drums last, which is completely the opposite of the way most recording processes go.
Right.
So everything's done to slate drums, just to whatever Tammy's, because Tammy's original instrument is drums.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I should
He
have
was a
known,
drummer.
because it seems like everyone starts with drums, plays drums.
Yeah, he was a drummer first. So he's already got an idea of what he wants, and then he and I will tweak it as the process goes. And I do a lot of the background vocals. There's a lot of vocal interaction between Tammy and I as far as live and recording.
Mhm.
So a lot of the melody lines and harmonies and all that stuff, or vocal arrangements, rhythmically get changed around. So it's kind of better that we do it the way that we do it, because we've pretty much dedicated ourselves to, once it gets to this is the way we're doing drums, or
Mhm.
this is the way we're doing vocals, the drums are locked into it, as opposed to, well, we've already done the drums and we can't really redo it unless we want to do a bunch of editing. And so, you know what I mean? And then it ends up sounding like it's been all cut up and weird.
Mhm.
So for the way we work, it works better that way.
I see. Okay. Because I know Sam he comes up with a lot of riffs.
Yeah.
On his own.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So does Tammy take those? Will he accept some other?
We are just now in the process, as this record is getting more developed, getting into that process. Like I said, there were 6 or 7 songs that were done already, or partially done, that
Mhm.
Sam came in and jumped in. Nola was we've recorded this record, or portions of this record, probably 3 or 4 times.
Oh,
And
geez.
it wasn't until Sam got here that the puzzle pieces started fitting together.
Mhm.
So a lot of the riffs that were written, that Tammy had written originally, because Tammy pretty much wrote all 3 records. He and Greg
Mhm.
Steele were pretty much the main writers. I mean, Brent, Eric had a couple things here and there, but the bulk of the work were Tammy and Greg.
Mhm.
So, Tammy and Sam are just now getting into how figuring out how they work together.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I mean, the minute Sam got in there and they started working on NOLA, it was like I said, night and day different.
Yeah, that's a great song. I like that one.
Yeah. Wait till you hear the new one.
I can't wait. Like I said, I'm a big Faster Pussycat fan. And yeah, I'm looking forward to new stuff.
Yeah. So are we.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
One of the things, I know you weren't in the band at the time, but one of the things I noticed too about Faster Pussycat is the first album is more just more bar-chordy riffs, bar-chordy type music. And the second album is more, second album got more into the riff-oriented stuff.
Sure.
You might not know, but was the first album more of the label and the second album more Faster Pussycat, or?
If you read anything that the guys have written about it in the process of making it, they had to make it. They made it for like 35 grand, and they made it in like a week. I want to say 7 days. Yeah, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much done, and it's basically glorified demos. I mean, they had like 5 songs total before they got the record deal.
Mm-hmm.
5, that was it. So they were writing in the studio. They were finishing songs in the studio to try to have enough material to get the record out in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then they wrote a lot on the road for the second record.
Mm-hmm.
Third record, I think there was some space in between where they kind of went off and did their own things and then came back together and tried to kind of put the parts together.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think by the third record, I think Tammy and Greg were headed one way and Brent and Eric were headed another.
I see.
Again, I wasn't there for it.
Right.
In talking to the guys, I think it was kind of doing that.
Sure. Now, do you, during the tour, your set list, is it kind of split between mainly the 2 first albums?
No. It's all 3 records and some new stuff, so, we're doing on the headlining shows. I mean, when we're opening for Tom, the sets are shorter, when we're doing 40, 45, 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of got to keep it to what the songs that people are paying to come see.
Sure.
So it's more oriented toward that. But, I mean, we do play NOLA every night. But on the headline shows, we kind of mix it all up.
How long do you play when you're on your own?
Between 75 and 90, depending on, the crowd.
Okay. Okay, so we will hear some new songs in Myrtle Beach.
You will hear the 2 new songs, the 2 newest songs. Yes, you will hear those.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Moto Christ. I mean, you guys still doing that?
Yes, we are. But it's getting harder and harder, man. It's,
when are you finding the time?
It's tough. And, the Mark Diamond, the lead guitar player, is in the band called the Dwarves, the punk rock legends from Seattle. And they tour all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So between Danny and I's schedule and Mark's schedule, it's really difficult to get everybody together. So a lot of times, we're constantly working on songs. So it's never been an issue of not having enough songs because we're emailing demos to each other all the time.
Sure.
But as far as being able to get together and play, that's kind of been tricky.
Okay. Now, does Ronnie play in that band too?
He does from time to time when Mark's not around, or if we need a third, if we want to go full Skinnerd.
Skinnerd all the way.
And he's written some stuff for Moto as well. So
okay.
He played a lot on the last record on Chrome.
Okay. Now, do you guys tour with Moto?
No, we don't. We do 1-offs or 2-offs, but there's just no time to tour it. Everybody's too busy. I'd love to tour it. I would love to be able to go out and do a Moto Christ tour because it's definitely, by far, in a way, the passion project for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
But because we all write, we all sing. It's kind of like I got a Kiss vibe to it, where everybody does, does everything.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to do it. I just don't know if we ever get the chance. Who knows? Maybe. Never say never.
Well, I mean, I think if you want it to happen, you could probably make it happen.
There's a lot on everybody's plate right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. How is it with Danny? How I mean, I don't know him. I've never met him, but I see him on.
You will.
I'll meet him. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, he's a character.
You're around him all the time. So I mean, how is that?
I am around him far too much.
Is he always like that? 24 hours, like what we
Yeah,
see
pretty
on
much.
social
Yeah,
media?
there's no off. That is 100% real. There is no off button.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
We'll see, right?
no, it's great. He's awesome. I mean, people love him. He is
Yeah.
America's best friend, as he says.
Yeah. Some of the stuff he puts up there cracks me up.
Yep. Well, we've kind of hit a nerve. And that's the thing about all that stuff that we do. It's all one take. It's all off the cuff. None of that is scripted. It's all 100% real, like as we're in the moment of it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it fun.
So right now you guys are just touring more of the East Coast, right? Kind of that.
Well,
half of the...
yeah, because I guess, I mean, again, anything could happen, but I guess the way this is working is that Tom's subbing out of Nashville every week.
Mm-hmm.
So we do 3 or 4 shows with Tom, then he goes back to Nashville and he comes back out. And I guess after the first of the year, we're going to do the same thing on the East Coast or on the West Coast that we've done on the East Coast.
Same
so they're going to
hub
there. I believe so. Yes. So they're going to hub out of somewhere in the West, and we're going to do the same kind of thing.
I see. Any plans going overseas?
Yeah, there's all kinds of talk about all kinds of everything,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Golden Robot involved now. So, there's Australia talk, there's Japan talk, there's,
let's talk about that for a minute. How did that deal come about? I mean, did they reach out to you? You reach out to them?
A lot of these labels, the Frontiers and the Golden Robots and the Cleopatras, they've been trying to get Tammy to do something for a while. And I just don't think that he felt like he was ready to do it until he had all his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we've got a body of work that we're all pretty happy about, I think it was just right time, right place. And I think Mark from Golden Robot definitely was the strongest as far as our vision for what we would like the next chapter of this to be. I think he's the one that's most in line with us on this.
Mm-hmm. Mark is I've had him on the show as well and communicate with him. He's a great guy.
He's a good dude.
And he's really picked up some bands.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got Jizzy on the label. I think he's got Stephen Piercy.
He does.
Just more recent ones.
Yeah. He's serious about what he's doing. So, we're all hoping for good things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. Is there a time frame when this is going to be out? Did you say that?
I do not have that answer.
Okay.
I don't have the time frame for that yet.
Okay.
Because like I said, the deal just got done. So, this is fresh.
Sure.
Weeks fresh.
Sure.
So
that's exciting. Okay. All right, Chad. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time to join me. I know it was kind of short notice. It's kind of late.
Yeah. All good. Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate
it. Yeah, man. And I'm going to see you in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Okay. So
yes, sir.
We will meet up and have some fun and meet Danny.
Yes, and meet Danny. and maybe film some things.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right,
buddy.
brother. Thanks, man.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.